Hey everyone, it's Jeremiah. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. I want to make a quick video and share with you guys how I tow my 9,000 pound, 8,500 to 9,000 pound, 36 foot long travel trailer safely with a half-ton truck. I tow thousands of miles every single year and have towed for well over a decade. So I've got lots of experience recreationally towing, and I wanted to share with you guys some of my findings. I've got some comments on some of my videos about, hey, you're killing the truck, all these things, but I've been doing this for years. And so I just want to take a few minutes and share with you guys how I do that. The main point of this video though is I want to start kind of a video series explaining how I tow with a half-ton truck, not just that I tow with a half-ton truck. Now, before I dive really far into it, this is my experience. I want you to do your own research, do your own fiddling, your own finding, that sort of thing. Read up on all of the instruction manuals, read all the documentation you can get. I am by no means an industry expert. I'm just a guy who's done a lot of research and has a lot of experience. So take that with a grain of salt. All right. What I want to talk to you today about, though, is your mindset. Getting your mindset correct in order to tow a trailer. A lot of people are scared and they're nervous. They're anxious about towing. And I'm going to say that that is a good thing that you're anxious about towing, because what you're doing is you're moving a big unit down the road and you need to be a little anxious about that. You need to be aware of what you're doing. You need to have the right mindset in order to tow. So let's talk about a couple of things that I think you need to have the right mindset in order to tow. So mindset number one is you don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. And that's something that we all need to understand. Even me, with tens of thousands of miles recreational towing, I don't know everything there is to know. Like if I was to move into fifth wheels, I'm in a completely different world whenever it comes to fifth wheel towing. I tow travel trailers. So fifth wheels is something I don't know. I still don't know everything about a travel trailer. I'm still learning as I go. And as you grow in your towing experience with travel trailers, utility trailers, car haulers, all those types of trailers, you are going to gain experience almost every single time that you tow. You're going to learn something new. You're going to feel some different wiggle, or something's going to happen on a different road surface or something like that. So you don't know everything. That's the first thing you got to understand. You got to set your mind with the opportunity to learn so that you can move forward and become more competent towing as you go. The second mindset that I want you to work on is you need to lower your time-based expectations whenever it comes to towing. And here's exactly what I mean. There's a couple ways that this applies. The first thing is the learning curve is pretty steep whenever it comes to towing, especially if you've never done it before. Now, if you have grown up towing, then this is old hat to you. But if you're somebody who's interested in camping, you're interested in towing a travel trailer, or maybe you are somebody who wants to pull your race car or something, so you're new to towing in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and what you need to understand is that you need to lower your time-based expectations. You are on a learning curve, which is going to take a while for you to figure out all the different pieces, put all those things together, and become competent with what you're dealing with. The second way that you need to lower your time-based expectations is whenever you tow, the faster you go, the faster things happen, right? So if you're towing at 80 miles an hour and the trailer starts to wiggle, it may start to sway on you before you can react competently. Things happen a lot faster the more faster you tow. So what I do is I tend to lower those expectations down, and I take my time whenever I tow. Now, let's just give an example of that. Whenever you're on a trip, say my Silverado can get 24, 25, 26 miles per gallon if I'm empty, if I'm not towing. We just recently had a trip where we traveled over 600 miles one way, and that trip we averaged right at 25 miles per gallon. There's a video I did on that MPG up in the card above, so please check that out if you're interested in that. But whenever we're towing, we are not going to get 24, 25, 26 miles per gallon. We're going to do very well to get 9, 10, maybe 11 miles per gallon. The reason for that is the truck is having to work a lot harder, and it's going to take a little bit more time to get there competently. So lower your time-based expectations. One more thing, make sure that you communicate with your passengers before, if you have somebody riding with you whenever you're towing, that this is not like a normal trip. This trip's going to take a little bit longer. A good rule of thumb is it usually takes me about a third longer for my trip whenever I'm towing, mostly because I got to stop more. It burns more fuel. Instead of 2 fuel stops, I got to make 4 fuel stops or 5 fuel stops even if I get stuck in a lot of traffic. So just communicate with your passengers that, hey, this trip's going to take longer, and lower that time-based expectation down. The third mindset that you have to have whenever you're towing recreationally is, or just towing in general, is that you have an increased responsibility. Make sure that you're taking the towing seriously. All of the things that go along with towing, you need to take them very, very seriously. There are no shortcuts in order to learn how to tow. Now, I want you to be cautious. I don't want you to be thinking that there's this enormous learning curve that you just can't learn. No, you can learn it. You can do it, but take it seriously. Take the time to learn all the systems and to learn all the things whenever it comes to towing so you can do it safely. I want to tell you guys a story that happened on our trip back. I'm always kind of observing the different campers, travel trailers that we run across whenever we're passing and that sort of thing. And I noticed about half a mile ahead of me there was a travel trailer. It was a pretty short travel trailer. It wasn't very tall, and it was swaying just all over the road. It was, I mean, the driver was having a nightmare situation, I would consider. The trailer was owning the truck, right? And so as I approached it, he whipped out to try to pass the semi truck. Well, he successfully ran the semi truck in onto the shoulder of the road. The semi truck driver, thank God he was watching out for this incompetent driver and this incompetent setup. Thank God that the semi truck driver was looking out for the driver of the truck towing the travel trailer. Because otherwise we would have watched an accident right in front of us. I hope one didn't happen behind us. But as we came up on this trailer, he was in the slow lane, and we started to pass them. And I was very curious how his setup was. After we got up about a quarter way past the travel trailer, I'm trying to pass him relatively quickly. I'm buzzing along about 70, but I want to get past this guy. As I came up beside him, I noticed that the tongue of the trailer was pointed way down. So it was obviously not set up correctly. The weight distribution hitch wasn't set up right. The drawbar wasn't set up right. Something was way off on this truck. It had no business being on the highway. But then I saw what it was hitched to and what it was. The trailer was a Lance 2465. That is a 6,800-pound trailer, empty. It's a pretty decent sized lightweight trailer. Now, if you don't know anything about Lance, they make very high-end trailers, very nice trailers, but they're pretty light, and they're should not be blowing almost any truck around. I mean, even some like mid-sized trucks could probably tow this trailer. But this trailer was hitched to a 2020 to 2022 Chevy Silverado 2500. Yes, it was a heavy-duty truck that was being owned by this little 6,800-pound trailer. Guys, that truck has a 13 or 14,000-pound tow rating, and it was getting blown all over the place by this trailer that barely weighs 7,000 pounds loaded. Maybe a little bit more than that. Why? Because the setup wasn't right. Listen, you've got to get your mindset right and take the whole package seriously. It's not just go buy a heavy-duty truck, hitch the trailer, and go. That is the wrong attitude, folks. If you have that attitude, please change your mind. That is not the fix-all. That is not the end-all, be-all. That truck and trailer combo was a recipe for disaster, and it was a heavy-duty truck. Why? The setup was wrong. The setup is the most crucial thing that you can deal with whenever it comes to towing a trailer. You've got to have the trailer balanced, the truck balanced, hitched correctly, and the driver has to be driving competently. Now, this poor driver was sawing all over the steering wheel of this 3/4 ton truck trying to control this 7,000-pound trailer. The setup was completely wrong. And finally, guys, the last thing that you need as far as a mindset is concerned is you need confidence. You need confidence. Now, I said at the beginning of the video, you need to have a little anxiety. You should. Every time I get in the truck to tow, I'm a little anxious. I'm cautiously optimistic, okay? Because I know what can go sideways whenever you're towing. Actually, every time you get in the car, whether you're driving or towing, you should be a little anxious. You should be aware of your surroundings, and all these things kind of apply in the same way. Know your equipment, all that sort of stuff. But you need to have some confidence. You need to know your equipment. You need to know your skills. You need to know what you're doing to some degree. Now, what does that mean? What gives you confidence? And that's experience. Now, how do you get experience if you've never towed a travel trailer before? Here's how you do it. You study all your tools. You study all the equipment. You study how to hitch. You get out your tools. You get your hands dirty. You work on your hitch yourself. You work on your travel trailer. You make sure the lug nuts are tightened. You make sure all the things are taken care of that you have learned about. And you go out there and you practice. And I don't mean practice whenever you're going camping on your first trip. I mean burn a few tanks of gas and just go out and tow. Just go for a 100-mile tow. 50 miles out, 50 miles back. Tow on some back roads, tow on some main roads. Get some experience. And whenever you make an adjustment to your hitch, just dedicate 50 to 60 miles of a test drive and just go test. There's nothing wrong with testing. And yes, I'm saying spend some money, dial in your combination, because trust me, it is not the time to find out that your camper or your car trailer or your rig is not dialed in whenever you go on vacation or whenever you have to head off on a long trip to pick up that car project or something like that. So please be confident, but make sure you test through your equipment. Now, in the next several videos, I'm going to go through step by step how I become confident that I can tow with a half-ton trailer. Now, not a half-ton truck, and I can tow my trailer. I tow a heavy travel trailer. So I'll go through those step by step with everybody. Again, this is how I do it. If you're going to copy me, make sure you do all your research. Make sure you do all of your research on all your hitches, all your equipment, everything that you have that you're touching, and make the best decision for you. All right, thank you guys for watching. You don't know how much I appreciate you all. I hope you guys have the best day ever. It's going to be a great day, and I can't wait to go through this little series with you guys.